G'day, my name is Rick.
Ciao, my name's Millie.
And this is episode 2 of season 3 of
Yonks Ago!
Season 3, could it be Donny B? Who is he? Just another bit of history that we're gonna get to know in a brand new little season of Yonks Ago. A father and a daughter putting on a show, finding out about people from Yonks Ago. Y-O-N-K-S Ago. Y-O-N-K-S Ago. Fact or fiction, we don't know. Y-O-N-K-S Ago.
All right, episode 2.
Yeah.
As mentioned in the introduction. And here we are, gathered in the kitchen on a Thursday afternoon. I no longer know which day's good, which day's bad. It's
just whatever day it is.
I guess there's no hard and fast rule.
No.
Got to play it a little bit more free and easy.
What's your favourite though?
Oh, I mean, if you track the history of our podcast,
Yeah.
I loved a Tuesday, but
You
then
did.
I soured on a Tuesday.
No, I like Tuesday.
Tuesday
Tuesday's my favourite. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And if everything going to plan, I think Tuesday would be the day we did it.
Yeah.
But life, eh?
Well, it wasn't my fault.
It's unpredictable. Nah, I just couldn't be stuffed.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
I was ready to do it, and he's like,
I just had a lot of balls in the air, metaphorical balls, and I was metaphorically juggling at a metaphorical circus.
okay.
And I literally dropped all the actual balls, and I got kicked out of the physical circus.
Okay.
And now here we are on a Thursday.
Yeah.
Trying to make it happen
Exactly.
as best we can.
Yeah.
Got to find out about the Don.
No, don't say that. Let's call him Donny.
Donny
Not
B.
The Don. No, no.
I only said that. Look, here's where we were in episode 1. I'd got some source material. I'd got access to just an online, on my phone version of a book called The Don.
Yeah.
And look,
They shouldn't have named it the Don. Oh,
my old man
Disrespect.
eyes,
Yeah.
struggle. I'm so spoilt by season 2.
He couldn't figure out how to zoom, and I offered to help, but he was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
So I could have figured out how to zoom on it,
but I couldn't do it. But then, guess what, Yonky Doodlers?
Well, I know. So
you're Yonky Doodly. I didn't ask. Guess what, Yonky
I started
Doodly.
saying that before you said Yonky Doodlers. So.
Wow, Thursday afternoons have got you all on edge.
No.
Fair enough. So I went. Melbourne opened up. Melbourne threw the doors open. They said,
Yeah.
"Do you want to do some shopping? You can from Sunday onwards. No, Monday onwards. No, Tuesday onwards.
Tuesday.
And so no
Wednesday.
Wednesday. From Wednesday
Well,
onwards.
if you know how you can say like at least Tuesday, and then you can say like not Tuesday but onwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from Wednesday, pretty much, we could go shopping for the first time in months.
Yeah.
So we went to an op shop.
As we should.
Had a little browsy. It coincided with Millie not having school that day.
Yeah.
So we hit the op shops. We found some sweet threads, and I also found the very book that I was struggling to read on my phone. I found a hard copy.
Don't you have glasses? Just chuck on your glasses.
I mean, this is a good point you're making.
Did you lose them?
No, I've got them. They're somewhere. Again, that's a solid point, and I didn't even think about it. Having trouble reading, have glasses for that exact reason. Didn't think to put 2 and 2 together, but didn't have to.
No.
Because I found a book.
Exactly.
That's much easier to read. So I'm in heaven.
Wow, how old-fashioned of you.
That book is called The Don, which I think is what got it in my head to say The Don. When really, I mean, that's not how we think of him.
No.
Here on
he doesn't
Yonks
deserve
Ago.
that yet.
No. He's Donny B.
Yeah.
So welcome. Let's find out about Donny B.
Yeah.
That was a long-winded way of saying I shouldn't have called him that. And I'll try not to again until you approve it. Got to play by the rules, especially on a Thursday when she is snippy.
Okay, so let's move along.
So where were, but recap, we've had one whole
Oh,
episode.
yeah.
We
Go
really
for it.
only found out, look, his dad's name's George.
Birthday 27th of
27th of August.
Hold on, I got this. I don't even remember when he was born. 1903.
1908.
I was close. I was close enough.
1908. Remember the date. There you go. It's stuck in your head now.
1903. I made a mistake.
1903. It's Donny B. Now I've confused you.
I didn't think of that. Yeah.
Look, so Dad's name's George. Mum's name's Emily.
Yeah.
Granddad's name was Chucky Bradman. Love a bit of Chucky content. Chucky Bradman married Elizabeth the Biffinator Biffin.
Oh, yeah.
They had George, youngest of 6, I think. Or was that Donny B? Oh, look, it's...
No, Donny B was youngest of 6.
Yeah, so just go back and listen to episode 1 if you want the actual factual recap. And he grew up just outside of... he grew up in Cootamundra.
Okay.
Southwest of Sydney.
Then they moved to the mountains.
Then they moved...
Because Emily was sick.
Emily got sick. See,
Of that place.
Yeah. And so they moved to Bowral. And Emily
Can we
got...
call it something else? That's the ugliest name I've ever heard.
Pardon?
Can we call it something else? That's the ugliest name I've ever heard. That's what I said.
I mean, it's factual.
Barrel.
It does sound like bowels. It makes me think of bowel movements.
Oh, no.
Barrel.
Let's stick with barrel.
But it's kind of like barrel.
Yeah, let's call it barrel.
Barrel.
Yeah.
So instead of trying to get our mouth to say bowel, your mouth doesn't want to say
That's
it.
too many vowels.
Your mouth-
Vowels.
Yeah, it's the W in there. It's the bowel. It's the W. It's the w with the
Yeah.
Your mouth says no.
No.
Barrel.
Let's not do that.
You just want to make a barrel.
Yeah, barrel.
So they moved from Cootamundra to Barrel,
Yeah.
and Emily got instantly better.
It's like when we say handbag. I mean handbag. And
Handbag.
We say handbag. Handbag. Handbag.
We say ham.
We
I reckon we
just-
say handbag.
Yeah, we do. Handbag. Handbag. Because
I
like,
put
who can
my
be
ham in a
starved?
bag.
Who can be starved?
But just practicing saying handbag then, I think it's kind of fun on the mouth. Handbag. Handbag. A handbag.
Yeah.
The more I say it, the more I like it.
What the process is where you... Don't
Don't forget to talk into your microphone though, just basic mic skills.
Well, I was trying to think of
You can think.
actual things, but...
So Emily got better when she moved.
I bet you I was loud too. I bet you could hear me just fine.
I know, it's true. It's true. I'll never know.
You're silly.
I won't know until we listen back and I'll go, gee, I did not need to tell her to talk into that microphone. She was nailing it. So there they go. They've moved back. Emily's condition improved. And then George found work as a carpenter.
Yeah.
A little bit Jesus.
Oh, you know.
Just a hint of the Jesus.
Aren't we all?
And the large family struggled. Oh, so Emily's feeling better, but the money's not rolling in like it did in Cootamundra.
No.
They've got no money to put in the barrel. Their money barrel's empty. But they got by.
Okay.
I want you to know, even though they were struggling, they weren't starving.
Yeah.
They were doing okay,
Yeah.
not great. But the whole family, the Bradmans, the Biffinators, everyone who was the whole lineage
Yeah.
had a great love of music and sport,
Okay.
dating way back to their English past.
Okay.
Every single thread of the family loved a bit of sport. They loved a bit of music.
Both at the same time?
I mean, if they could combine
Imagine playing cricket with a cello, though.
I mean, I'd watch that. And all of them could play a musical instrument. I got to clarify, just about all of them.
Not Don.
Oh, nah, Don could.
What was it then? Tell
Donny
me
B,
what it was.
let's find out. So they all played musical instruments, almost all, and they all loved, women included, like the whole family, liked nothing more than to go out with the bat and ball in the backyard. Bat and ball in the backyard.
That's
Alliteration.
Oh, excuse me. I had it. Excuse me. Can you let me do what I need to do?
Bat and ball in the backyard.
Is alliteration. Can you let me take a moment to breathe?
Yeah.
So I can think of the word.
Yes.
And then I can say it without being interrupted.
Jeez, Thursday afternoons, eh? Whew.
I find that a bit disrespectful.
I'll let you breathe with the bat and ball in the backyard.
Which is alliteration.
You're right. You are right. With varying degrees of skill. They weren't all champions. They weren't all Donny B's.
I reckon they were all pretty good, and this guy's just saying it.
Yeah.
This author guy, he's capping. Surely not.
And so this was the rhythm of leisure time for young Donny B. In the summer, it was violin and piano.
Okay.
He double instrumented it.
Okay, nice.
Same time, I imagine. He was just doing his own accompaniment.
Yeah, fair enough.
And he played cricket, tennis and athletics in the summertime
Okay.
to go with his violin and piano.
Okay.
And in the winter, the sport changed to rugby
Oh.
because he's in New South Wales. They did not play Aussie
fair
rules.
enough. Yeah, fair enough.
They were not interested.
No.
So it was all ruggers.
Yeah.
And the Bradman/Watman families took their sport a step further and played for the town when
Oh, there
they
you
could,
go.
when they were of age.
Yeah, yeah.
They signed up for the local leagues.
Yeah.
Why keep it in the backyard?
Oh, I don't
Don't just keep your bat and ball in the backyard when you can branch out. Branch out with your bat and ball. It was inevitable that any child with even a hint of talent would slip into games
Nice.
at the time because they didn't have
They didn't, yeah.
any other way to amuse themselves.
Throwback.
What are you going to do? Get on the Xbox? You couldn't. There wasn't one.
No.
They had boxes. You could stand on a box.
Oh, but like getting in a box would be fun.
Get in the box.
And then like see how long you can stay in the box.
Maybe there was a box, they got their eggs delivered in, and then it would be empty out, and they go, I'm going to go play in the eggs box. They would just hop in the eggs box. You want to come and hang out? We'll get in the eggs box.
Do you reckon the first person to do that was like, not be even funner?
What?
If I made this like a game console, eh? and it was like Xbox.
Yeah. I'm on board.
Do you reckon that happened?
If it happened, it'll be in this box. No, box?
Wait.
Book. It'll be in
Oh
this
no,
book.
he stopped it up.
I said the word box too many times. I've lost my mind. Let's find out about Donny B and his cricketing endeavours. He first held a bat at the age of...
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Did I get it?
Pick one of those numbers.
Well, it wasn't 6 because you shook your head. So, is it older or younger? So
I said pick one of the numbers that you said.
Oh, okay. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wait, let me. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3.
trying to read my body language.
3.
It was 5.
Hey, I was gonna go with 5. Oh, you tricked me with your eyes.
Mate, I have been thwarting lie detectors since I was 5.
What did you do when you were 4? You didn't get away with it?
Nah, I got busted.
Oh, no.
I got busted so bad. More alliteration. It's all happening with the bees. Donny Bees.
Yeah.
We're alliterating with the Donny Bees. It makes sense. So he first held a bat at the age of 5. It was a piece of gum tree branch
Sorry.
fashioned like a baseball bat. It was a baseball bat branch. Donny B had a baseball bat branch that he used in the backyard with
At
a
the
ball.
age of... There's no age with B. I was going to go
There's not a billion.
a billion minus 3. I didn't even know how to get that. Wait, I didn't even get a billion. Is a billion a million millions or 1,000 millions?
It depends. I believe, as is common, I feel like the Americans have their own way of doing it. I think to
Yeah.
begin with, in the old country, in the old units of measuring things, a billion was a million millions.
But if someone's a billionaire, how much money do they have?
I think these days that's 1,000 millions.
Okay.
I think the Americans went a million millions. Never get there.
Yeah.
I reckon they would get there now.
Yeah.
But yeah, they went a million. A billion can be 1,000 million.
And then a trillion, is that 1,000 billions?
I lose track, mate. I lose track.
Oh.
Trillions beyond. It's beyond my comprehension,
I don't get it.
both in terms of money and in terms of counting.
Millions are where my comprehension leaves.
You don't need
after
any
that.
more.
Well, after what's the biggest million? Like 900 million?
Well, it depends.
Yeah, it depends what million you're talking about. Well, I think so. I don't know. Whatever. I don't understand numbers.
And you refuse to understand numbers. Yeah, numbers are overrated.
Anyway, a billion minus
A lot.
900. 999.5 million.
You're so close. You're so close. But he had the gum tree branch baseball bat fashioned by his father.
Yeah.
He showed nothing exceptional.
Oh wait, that didn't work.
No, I know. No, you had to do you had to say a very long number to get it back to 5. Now, Donny B showed nothing exceptional early, except 2 characteristics that he would never lose, and which were in some way to lifting him above average. His 2 skills, what were they? The child would listen.
Okay.
And he would concentrate.
Okay.
The two big ones. Was he good at cricket?
That's the
No.
same thing. That's not.
Nah, listening and concentrating. Concentrating helps with the listening.
I was thinking that his two skills were going to be like two like different things. Like I feel like you know, like listening piggybacks off concentrating.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
He could concentrate and he was flexible. Like something like that. Like
Yeah.
he could put his legs behind his head. He could listen
Like
and he
they're-
was
like-
double jointed in his elbows.
Yeah, like listening and concentrating. They're in the same ballpark. Like they're the same thing.
Yeah, they're
know what
from
I mean?
the same area in the Venn diagram.
Yeah, listen here, concentrate, please. You know what I mean?
Listening, concentrating,
Yeah.
eyes forward. He could listen and his eyes were always facing forward.
Okay.
Then at the age of 8, his father, Georgie Bradman, judged him a very fair bat. So he's gone from unexceptional to very fair just by listening and concentrating. He had a good eye. He'd mastered, because they're always facing forward.
Yeah.
He'd mastered the simple yet essential elements of footwork by
Okay.
watching. See, I feel like a lot of his skills that we're learning here was with his eyes,
Yeah.
not with the listening and the concentrating.
Yeah.
He did a lot of watching.
Yeah, I feel
Watching
like
and learning.
I feel like I need to say listening and watching. Like they're two different things.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Concentrating threw me off.
Yeah.
Hey, get out of here with your concentrating nonsense.
I guess the only way you can be a good listener is if you're concentrating.
Yeah. So
'Cause
they're
that's
the
what-
same thing.
That's what good listening is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is concentrating on what you're listening
But
to.
watching isn't listening.
Yeah. I think his two skills were listening and
Watching.
watching.
And he was from that he was good at concentrating.
Yeah. No, I think he used concentration to be a good listener and
Yeah.
watcher.
Yeah.
It's like
That's
concentration.
what I just said, but in different words.
Yeah, we're agreeing with each other.
Yeah, but you said no.
Yeah, that's how I agree. That's my agreeing word. No. What's your agreeing word? If you can think of a better agreeing word.
Yes, and
Nah.
yes, and
Nah, that's
nah.
I'm agreeing with you. That's a good word. So he's going along, and then this is the famous. Anyone who knows anything about Donny Bradman,
Well, I do now, but
Yeah.
I probably don't know this. So what you just said was
that's
factual.
true. I guess most people who've grown up with Don Bradman in their life in some way know this story.
Oh, jeez.
This is the famous story.
Yeah. Is he dead now?
Donny B.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I was just asking.
Yeah.
I was like, well, he'd be like pretty old, eh?
1908. He'd be
Yeah.
112.
All right, he could do it.
Yeah.
He could do it.
I mean,
you could, like, physically, like,
people do it,
yeah.
but he didn't.
That's what I was asking, eh?
He got out.
Do you know how? Do you know when?
Oh, I don't know. We'll find out.
well,
We'll find out. That'll be part of the part
we
of the
found
Donny
out
B
when
story.
Nancy died before we got to the end.
Look, maybe I'll do some research.
All right.
Maybe I won't. So Bradman learned early on to be at ease with his own company because there were very few little mates close to his home. No friends.
Rip.
He had his Xbox,
Yeah.
but no one to play with. It was just him on his Xbox.
He had 6 kids, 6 siblings.
I suspect they were all a lot older. I think he was the little young pup.
yeah, fair enough.
He was the little mascot of the family.
Yeah.
And the rest of them weren't interested. They all
Yeah.
had their own lives to live.
Fair enough.
So he was just getting around by himself. And so, like countless children before and since, he improvised.
Fair enough.
He devised ball games for one. Little solo ball games.
I see.
In
We
the,
can play tennis with the wall.
Oh, and I bet he did.
Yeah.
And then so he was playing, imagine he would pick imaginary football teams. He'd play matches in the backyard with a footy. The garage door proved a useful rebound service for make-believe tennis games,
Nice.
as you've correctly guessed. But it was cricket which drew out his real creativity.
Okay.
He would play imaginary test matches. That's plural.
Over 5 days?
I think it would go as long as he needed.
Okay.
And he would play the whole games out in his head using a golf ball and a cricket stump
A golf ball?
and hitting it against a water tank.
What?
And so he would. Now this whole area underfoot was concreted, so he had concrete to play on.
Okay.
And it was undercover, so he couldn't get rained out.
Oh, nice.
And so he would hit the ball against the water tank, which had sort of an uneven corrugated surface, so it would bounce off in unpredictable ways.
Oh, nice.
And he would then have to hit it again with the stump up against the tank and it bounce back. And he just a little bit like
With the stump?
with a cricket stump. So he wasn't using a bat; he was using a stump. So he was using a smaller
Where's his
ball
bat?
and a smaller bat. Well, he figured, I don't know if he just preferred it that way or if he figured this was better training.
Okay.
Because if you can hit a golf ball with a cricket stump, you can certainly hit a cricket ball with a cricket bat.
Facts.
Because that's just everything but bigger.
Yeah.
And this kept him amused day in, day out, whatever the weather, because it was
Nice.
undercover,
Yeah.
through endless summers. And he was learning to do the hook shot, the pull shot, the cut, the late cut, all the cricket shots. And except for the on drive,
What's the on drive?
which is where you sort of hit it.
Is that straight?
It is straight to your leg side.
Your leg side is the one with your legs?
Yeah, you're with your legs. So
With your legs...
So not the way you're facing when you're batting. You're facing that way. That's your offside. And when
Why is it the way you're facing your offside?
well, it doesn't make sense, does it? But
Surely
it is.
that's your onside.
Don't lecture me about the
Wait,
rules of
is
cricket.
onside a thing or is it just offside and leg side? What's onside?
Onside is leg side.
Why is that two?
I mean, I guess it depends where you grew up.
Oh, leg side is where your... Wait, leg side is where your legs aren't facing. The other way, where your butt is.
Pardon?
Is that leg side, where your butt is?
Yeah,
That makes no sense. Surely it should be where your feet are facing.
I had to pick.
That's the dumbest... Nah. What?
The on drive was cut
Oh,
up.
no, wait, I get it. Sorry, Dad, I get it. Because
Okay.
your butt's there.
Yeah.
Your butt's on the offside.
Yeah,
And your legs are on the other side.
yeah.
I get it now. I get it.
So sorry. The on drive was a shot he didn't really play because if he played it, it would end up in an open area and he would have to go and fetch the golf ball.
Oh,
So it was
okay.
if he hit it that way, the ball wouldn't come back to him.
I get it.
Everywhere else he hit it, there was
Yeah.
surfaces to bounce off and
Nice.
the ball would come back. So
Why didn't he just... Oh, no, because of the water tank. I was
Yes.
like...
And so Brabham discovered he had to keep his eye on the unpredictable ball so that a last split-second head or body movement would avoid being hit because it was coming back at him real fast.
Yeah.
Golf balls pick up some pace. So if he looked away through fear, the fast-moving golf ball would strike him. So it's building up his gumption and his skills. He found the faster that he played, the quicker his reflexes reacted until he was soon... When settled into an innings of, pretending to be some famous cricketer, he was just going hell for leather. He was in the zone.
Yeah.
And so many summers passed where he did this, and a lot of people attribute his extreme skill to the fact that this was his training method.
Okay.
And yet I don't think kids are starting using that method today. Why isn't everyone out there? Why haven't sales of corrugated water tanks gone through the roof?
I don't know.
How come if you like cricket, you're not asking for a golf ball and a cricket stump?
Because you can use different methods. People need different methods. Not
Yeah.
everything works for one person. They'll work for everyone else.
But you think you give it a crack?
I wouldn't do that. That sounds boring as.
I mean, but you're not motivated to be
Exactly.
an elite Test cricketer.
I'm not motivated to be anything really.
So that's why I've never had to get you a golf ball and a water tank.
Yeah.
Because it's just not in your wheelhouse. But look, so the water tank. We've covered what might be the most famous childhood anecdote of Don Brabham, and that's probably a good place
Alrighty.
to leave this episode. And
Not the water tank.
yeah. So let's see where this water tank training gets our Donny B.
I reckon he'll go pretty far.
I mean, bit of sizzle, but you might be right. You might be right. So it's going to be it's going to be a tricky season for us to navigate because I definitely don't want to get into just
Hey! You know when they get their hat?
and
And
the baggy green.
and they get the number, what person they were to get chosen.
Yeah.
Do you know what number he was?
No, and the giving of the baggy greens and the numbers, I think that's a relatively recent thing.
But did they number it from recently, or did they number it? Did they go back and check them?
Well, yeah, he'll have a number. We'll find. Yeah, we can find out. But he probably wouldn't have known at the time what number he
I
was.
just want to know what his number was. I don't
God,
care
you
if he
really-
knew.
You've got no patience. We'll find out. or we won't, and I'll have to go back and do some research.
Fair enough.
But eventually you'll know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you have a guess? I have no clue, like, what number.
Let's see. So the started. I'd say he wouldn't be too far up the order. I reckon he'd be about. I mean, he might be as much as like 90.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I feel like they might have churned through a few players in
Yeah,
the early
yeah.
days. When was he? 1908 though, so he would have started pretty young. 1904. Oh, no, he might even be less. Maybe like 67. I'm probably wrong.
67.
He's probably like 114. Anyway, I've said three numbers. If any one of them's right, I win.
67, 90, and 114.
14. We'll find out. Yeah, but navigating this series, I've got to try to avoid just narrating cricket matches. I can't do that. So hopefully he got into hijinks in and around the cricket matches. Hopefully there's notable stories on tour that aren't just, he scored a century, because we get it.
Yeah.
Mancan has bats.
I scored a century once. Just kidding, that was a lie. I scored a century in my head.
I could tell from your body language. Yeah, you did not pass the lie detector. All right, look, we've learned a valuable lesson. Thursday evenings, patience.
Hey,
Millie has no patience.
No, you were just being annoying. Okay? Learn the difference.
I will. Don't podcast on Thursdays. Got it.
Okay, well, remember last time we podcasted on Thursday and you had the best time ever?
Yeah, I probably did.
Best.
Yeah.
In the backyard.
All right, so look, what day will we come back? Could be any day.
Yeah.
Just when we find a window.
Yeah. I found a window.
Thank you so much for joining us. We will return. We've got to try to squeeze some episodes in before I Chucky wake it.
Oh, yeah, he's leaving.
Who knows when I'll disappear and how we'll make this podcast work, if
You'll
at
work.
all. This could be a limited edition season.
Now, this is what dreams
where we
made
get 5 episodes into the life of Donny B and we never find out anymore because the old Chucky waked it and we never heard from him again. Whew, the excitement is real. The tension is palpable.
Yeah.
Let's find out how it develops in the next episode of
Yonks
Ago.